How's it going, guys? And I just got through yesterday watching the trailer for Dragon Ball Super Hero. So this is going to be a film that's going to be released next year. And there's not a certain time that's going to be released for the US, which is par for the course, really. We always know we're obviously going to get it after Japan. They're going to have to dub the thing, and that's usually how I am. I wait for the dub. I'm a dub guy. Oh, you're not a real fan. You know how it usually goes when you say things like that. But let's talk about this. So the Red Ribbon Army is back, and I'm always a fan of this, because this should always be something in the Dragon Ball universe. Now, we didn't get any Red Ribbon Army in Dragon Ball Super in the anime, so it is nice that we kind of get this callback. And people, there's a lot of people out there who've not seen Dragon Ball, and I have done two retrospective reviews on the two volumes of Dragon Ball, and I'll probably do more. Probably do those in a different style. I kind of played around with those. If you've seen the second video, I kind of did more of a retrospective, a more visual presentation. But anyway, you should definitely see that series. I mean, you seriously, I don't know how people have gone this long, people my age, without actually seeing Dragon Ball, because you're missing a whole big part of the series there. Now, is it required viewing? Not really, but I think you really appreciate a lot of Dragon Ball Z and a lot of Dragon Ball Super if you see Dragon Ball. I think it may not be required viewing, but it's definitely a nice supplemental viewing, and you'll get a whole different piece of the story that you're not originally seeing. So seeing Red Ribbon Army come back, with new members, and always trying to keep that organization alive is really interesting. So where does this superhero part come in? Well, you've got two guys with capes. One guy's got a number 1 on his chest. The other one's got a number 2. They sort of have this almost metallic vibe. I don't know if they're supposed to be androids. I'm going to go with probably yes, because it's the Red Ribbon Army, and we're talking about the same people who created the androids that you see in the Android Saga and in the Cell Saga in Dragon Ball Z. So it kind of, first thing I look at two guys with numbers on their chest, and I think Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat, 1 and 2. Also, looking at this, how could one not bring up the simple fact that this film is CGI? And you might be saying, oh, well, if you've watched some of my other videos in the past, you know how I feel about CGI. You know how I feel about hand-drawn animation. And you'll know that I prefer hand-drawn animation. And the fact that the Dragon Ball Saga series, these sets of movies, has always been hand-drawn, with the occasional moment of the, little CGI things. We had seen it in Battle of the Gods. I think it might have been there a little bit in Resurrection of F. But now the entire film is going to be CGI. So how do I feel about this? Well, I mean, if I had to pick, I think I would pick hand-drawn, but it is going to be interesting to see this film play out like this, and it makes it very unique because I think it actually looks quite good. It's not really the CGI that we're used to. It looks quite eye-catching, I will say. It definitely does to me. There's a certain quality about it that's alluring, and I think it's because it looks very similar to Kakarot. I even saw someone put that in the comments on the trailer when I watched it on IGN's channel. He says, I thought this was DLC for Kakarot because it looks like a more refined graphical style to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. A great game, but do we want it to look that way? I mean, this is something that is definitely cheaper to produce. It's been said for quite some time, and even dating back to the old Disney film days, that animation, hand-drawn animation, is quite expensive, and it's easier and cheaper to just do it on the computer. And I mean, this kind of in a way gets away from the whole Toriyama vision you know, and it being like a manga brought to brought to life. I mean, you know, you kind of have that transition from comic to animation to cartoon, you know, to anime, and it's definitely you know, quite the shock to see this happen. But I mean, it really isn't that shocking. You know, if you go back and you kind of listen, they had, you know, Toei Animation had been just, you know, chomping at the bit to get a CGI Dragon Ball film out. And like here that they're working on lots of other things. You know, they've got their hands in all sorts of other anime. And, you know, they also have One Piece. Which is a show that I know a lot of people have told me that I should watch. And, you know, there's a lot of anime that I have not seen a lot of, and One Piece is one of them. Naruto's another one, and I know there's a lot of people who are big time fans of that. And I do like anime, but you know, there's just some anime that doesn't hit me the same way as Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood has, and of course the entire Dragon Ball saga and sets of movies have. There's just different vibes there. I like the ones that have the just ooze with charm, and I know One Piece definitely seems like it has its charms, and so does Naruto, but they're quite different. Um, but you know, I haven't given them really a fair shake. Anyway, yeah, I mean, what do we see really in this trail? Well, we see that they're all being targeted. The Red Ribbon Army has profiles on all of them, and we are going to see Pan in action. We see her powering up, so obviously there's a bit of a time skip going on here. She looks, I don't know, I'd say about 7 or 8 years old from what I'm seeing at. So she was a baby when last we left her in the anime. So seeing her powering up here, that's quite exciting to me. It's going to be like, you know, Dragon Ball GT, sort of, you know, seeing her finally in action. Also, there's this blink and you'll miss it clip of Goku getting out of the way of an attack from Broly. So it appears that Broly is making a return in this film as well. So I don't know how he's going to factor into this with the whole Red Ribbon Army thing going on. So it'll definitely be interesting to see. So I'm really looking forward to this one, and you know, seeing how it all plays out and seeing the animation, how it goes about, and how it flows through an entire movie. I think it's probably going to end up being pretty good. I've never really been disappointed by any of these films so far that they've released since the whole comeback of Dragon Ball. So yeah, I mean, everything looks to be quite good with this one. And you know, I definitely think that this is definitely worth a watch, like any other Dragon Ball production. So yeah, let me know what you thought down in the comments down below, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bells to get all notifications when I post all my new videos. I want to thank all my patrons for your continued support. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time.